Hello YouTube, it's Louise the Big Haired Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day, wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. Welcome to the smallest bedroom in the house, which is, I'm not going to lie, kind of warm. It's actually quite hot. Keep it hot, hot, hot. So I would normally open the window. So I've been keeping the curtains closed in here because in the morning this is full sun, which is gorgeous, so needed, not complaining. 'Tis a little warm. I would open up the window, except we will then get flies in, and I can't be doing with that. So, but I have to have the curtains open, otherwise it's too dark. So it is a bit warm in here. I do apologise for everybody coming in. And the more of us that are in here, the warmer it will get. I have got simply a sparkling water in my insulated flask, my bottle, which normally I'd pour this in a glass, but I'm needing the cold. So it's sparkling water with ice in a insulated water bottle, which I got from Tesco's. Last year I got it from Tesco's for the boy because he had a water bottle and it broke. I don't know what he does to water bottles. I really just don't know what he does. Anyway, it broke. So I got him this one, and for some reason he didn't get on with it, or he didn't like it, or whatever. For whatever reason, it ended in the cupboard downstairs at the back, and I cleared out the cupboard downstairs and found it and thought, oh, I'll put some sparkling water in that and take it to work and see whether it keeps cool. Fabulous. So I am so needing this today. So I was hoping that we would be able to have a long sit down, but I'm not sure the heat is going to be able to. I'm not sure how long we're gonna sit and talk, because you might just see me melt in the smallest room, in the smallest bedroom in the house, smallest and warmest. So by the end of the day, this room is lovely and cool. And our bedroom, which is on the other side of the house, is like a sauna. So our lovely house, as you see when you come in, our lovely house is a house built in 1970. So it is a quintessential, get my teeth back in, 70s house, and it's on a little kind of like they bought the land, and then they built them in stages. They built the road in stages, and it's kind of twisty and turny, and everybody that comes in says, I got lost, the numbers are really odd, and everything. But actually it kind of so it works its way round. And then the houses by this end, they were built in kind of like the 80s, 90s, but this end here is all very 70s. We're very 70s here, and they kind of developed the road over years, and you can really see the development of the houses and how houses fashions change just in this little kind of, it's just one road, but it's almost like a development, because it kind of wends and waves, and the kind of cul-de-sacs here and cul-de-sacs there, and how the style of the roads even change. So we're in a typical 70s house, which they have nice size plots. So they're not too small, they're not too large, but they're not too small. They really sit nicely within their plot. It doesn't have enough room for two cars, unfortunately, on the drive, because of course probably in the 1970s there was only one car. So now we're actually going to sacrifice some of the front garden, we think, and have like another area for the car so that we can have two cars parked, which the house just up there has just done as well, because they have the problem with the parking. There is enough space, but it would be better. So yes, and the wonderful thing about these houses are they were built to keep the heat in, because it's cold and damp in the winter, and this area, even though it is a dry part of the country, still gets lots of rain, and it's designed to keep the heat in, which is great. Climate change comes along, not so great. It's like, for the vast majority of the year, we bless the fact that this house keeps us warm and toasty. Right at the moment, though, it keeps us really warm and really toasty. So, suffice to say, that was a long introduction, but I'm very warm. Even though I've got a nice summer dress on. It's actually one of my favourite fitting dresses at the top. And do you know what it is? I bought it from Long Tall Sally. So I'm tall. I'm tall and I'm broad. And I think I've spoken before about my body dysmorphia, the fact I have body dysmorphia and I don't have a good handle on my size. And when you get fluctuations in weight and fitness, and that affects how you start your body is, my brain just doesn't work. I just can't picture it, and I can't work out where I am. So when I'm buying clothes, I tend to buy the wrong size. Even if I try stuff on, I can try it on in the shop, and then when I get it home, it's wrong. And I do have difficulty with sizing, as we've seen over the years with the things that I've made. I normally make things too big. That is my constant thing, is that I make things too big. However, so one of the things I struggle with when I'm buying clothes is, because I'm tall and I'm broad, that makes me sound like a large oak, which I am okay with, actually. And I tell you what I thought, and I give this to anybody else that's out there. I've always struggled with the fact that my arms are long. I have long levers. I'd be a very good rower, except I don't like rowing. But I would be a very good rower because I've got long levers. I've got long arms and I've got long legs, long kind of powerful arms and legs as well. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I thought, I am literally built to give people hugs. And I've had so many people over the years go, "Oh, you're so lovely to hug." And I think it's because my arms are long enough to go round whoever it is I'm hugging and hold them close. And I said to the husband, I said, "I'm literally built to hug." And he just went, "You really are. You really are, with your long arms that can just hold people." Small children in particular. Small children always kind of clamber in. And as you know, I come from a very big family, so lots of hugging of small children. But this dress, this is from Long Tall Sally, and it's the depth is right, which means that the seam on my shoulder actually sits in the right place. It's funny, isn't it? I don't actually think about these things. It's only recently, in the last couple of years, when I've been thinking about garment construction and wanting to make my own wardrobe, that I've actually started thinking about where I want the seam on my shoulder to fit, because far too often, can you see that's where the seam is? Can't see very well, but more often than not with me, it ends up being pulled forward because I've got boobs, and that pulls it forward, and because this isn't deep enough. But on this dress, it actually all fits me right, and where it could still do with being a tiny bit broader there to fit on the top of my shoulder, but it's not bad. Yeah, could do with just a tiny bit more. Yeah, I think I would want it to fit. Where would it go? There. Yeah, I need about another 0.5 centimetre to actually hit my shoulder. And we're all so varied, aren't we? You have a feel of your top and exactly your shoulder seam, if you're wearing a top, and maybe you're not. Well done you, if you're not. If you're sat there in your all together, excellent work. Crafting in your all together. Yeah, have a feel to see where your shoulder seam is, and is it right for you? You start thinking about things like that. The other thing I've actually realised, even though this is a V-neck, it's not a very strong V-neck, is that I prefer myself in a round neck. There you go. There you go. You've learnt stuff about me anyway. Anyway, let's bring us all in. Welcome to Yarn Chat. These are the videos where I sit and talk about things that I have been making, and I witter on about other things as well. How hot it is. We sit in the smallest room in my house. There's tea and coffee, sparkling water. There are some jugs of orange juice, which I've actually popped some ice in as well for you to have that. I've also got the tropical juice from the local supermarket, which, let's face it, is not tropical, but it does mean it has pineapple in. And so that in this area counts as positively exotic. So please allow yourself to have a tropical exotic drink, but only if you can tolerate pineapple. Let us light a candle, bring our energy in. Take a deep breath. I think what shall I call this one? I think it's got to be tropical. Is it tropical juice or sparkling water? Let's go for sparkling water because it is the thing that I drink the most. Sparkling water today. I'm lighting our candle and we're going to have the wax melt. It's already on there and it's the beautifully clean smelling laundry. Clean laundry. Deep breath in. Hold for a moment and then release as a sigh. And if you feel like doing that again, deep breath in, hold for a moment, and then release as a sigh. Because you know you are here with everyone here. You are amongst friends. And we can sit together. We can sit together. So I'm going to talk about something that I spoke at the end of the last booktube, and I said I was going to do Yarn Chat today, and then I'm going to take an extended break, which is a shame because I have been really enjoying booktube and I have been really enjoying Yarn Chats. I've been enjoying sitting with you and talking about whatever's occurring at the time, and I've spoken about pagan things, which is, as we know, I am a disciple of the goddess and an ever-willing servant to her whims and however she feels, and talk about knitting and stitching and crochet and yarn and all lovely things like that. And I know from the comments that you have enjoyed that too. However, I am going to have to take an extended break. We've got some family stuff going on that is going to take my energy. It's not going to take my energy. I am placing my energy and my focus and my loving kindness there. And I know when I have a content creator on the YouTubes that I follow, if I follow them regularly and you get into kind of a pattern, when they disappear and they sometimes, and people's lives change and things happen on a moment and people disappear, it can feel a bit confounding when you don't know why they've gone or they just suddenly go. So I made the decision earlier this week that it would be better for me and it would be better for the people that I am with if I am not trying to do too much. And I wanted it'd be better for you if I said it up front and you would be aware that I haven't just gone. We've got stuff going on here like everybody does in their lives, and so we need to focus on that as a family rather than stretch our energy too thin. That's how I feel. So I'm sorry I can't go on into any more detail because it's not my tale to tell. And hopefully I'll be back sooner rather than later. But I guess I just don't know how long it will be. And I'll come back as soon as I'm able to. However, as far as I'm concerned, I am going to be trying to keep myself going on Instagram, and so I shall be showing stuff on Instagram, and I shall be present on Instagram as much as I can. Not that I'm a big Instagrammer anyway, but maybe I'll see if I can up it. Again, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, so we'll just have to see. But yes, that's why I wanted to say, here we are. That's the way it is, unfortunately. Not what I planned, because I've been really enjoying these weeks. I missed last week because we went down to my in-laws, and it was just, we had an awful lot on in the weekend, and I got to late Sunday and thought, I'm really glad I didn't try to fit yarn chat in, because it wouldn't have felt right. And there was a lot going on. So, and it was actually that day that made me realise, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this. This is the kind of thing that is going to happen. I am going to get these times, hopefully frequently, and get it done, get everything sorted. But I just, I'm not making an awful lot of sense, but that's the kind of the way it is at the moment. Things are up in the air, and we have to see how they land and how we deal with them. So yeah. You know, don't you? You know too. I did say on my last video, if anybody's got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And Summer King actually did say, I'd love to know more about that calendar you were talking about. So I was talking about my calendar, which I have on the wall over there, which as you come in, you see. And it is actually this. It's the Llewellyn's Witches calendar of 2023. The husband got it for me for one of my Christmas presents. I love calendars. It's one of those things you might not know about me, but I love calendars, and I would have a lot of calendars. My husband and the son, I think, are a bit like bemused at my love of calendars. So downstairs, I always have like a Royal Horticultural Society or a bird calendar, which has kind of like landscapes, but it's the one which is, you've got stuff that you can write on it each day. So I have that, which is my calendar for keeping notes on. And I've had one of those for years, and I find them very useful. Then I have a beautiful Agatha Christie calendar, which at the moment has got a beautiful version of A Pocketful of Rye on this month. Most lovely oranges and whites. It's lovely. So I've got that calendar in the dining room. And then I've got this calendar. I would have more calendars. I have tried page a day calendars, but I find them I get overwhelmed with those. I think probably, well, I was going to say I probably could do it at work, but I can't because I cross site, so I move from hospital, so I would always be running late on that. But no, I love my calendars. So the husband got me the witch's calendar, and it's lovely. So let me show you what May was like. Look at that. So you get some sort of ritual or spell, which you choose to do. I haven't actually done any of them, but I like reading about them. Ritual of the Cross of the Flowers. So it's all about kind of celebrating nature, about where we are in the cycle, in the wheel of the year. Talks about where we are, and it talks about stuff across the world actually as well. So it's not UK centric. Which a lot of the pagan and natural world books that I naturally have UK centric ones. So Llewellyn's is an American publisher, and so this is actually, it has more American focus, has more American pagan / Wiccan focus. However, it does have other stuff about other cultures, which is good. So yeah, and then you just get that, and then on each day it tells you the sign, tells you. Let me get the. Does it actually tell me what everything is? Tells you the moon sign and phase, the daily colour correspondences, solar and lunar eclipses, lunar gardening tips, and Celtic tree months. It provides planetary motions. I'm not sure about that as a phrase, including retrogrades and correspondence tables for working magics with positive results. This calendar also features US, Canadian and pagan holidays. There you go. It has all the information, you could ever possibly want. So we are on Sunday the 18th, that must mean new moon. That must mean new moon. Does it not actually does it not give you the guide? Yes, it does. Yeah. So we're entering a new moon today. How beautiful is that? We've got a new moon, which of course, yes, it is today, isn't it, the new moon? And today's colour is amber. How beautiful is that? The sun enters Cancer on Wednesday, which is which is Litha, or the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year. So today's colour is amber. What does it say about amber? It says oranges, attraction and success. That's funny, isn't it? Because I was talking about oranges downstairs on the other calendar, and yeah, tomorrow's colour is grey. Peace and neutrality. What have I got on tomorrow? Grey day. Tomorrow. Oh, I don't know. Well, no, maybe that's not too bad. I have a culture workshop for 3.5 hours. Culture, as in culture of the department, working on it. Yeah, that's going to sound fun. So that's, but I do think it talks about allyship, diversity, and our culture. So who knows? Go in with an open mind. There's part of me that's giving it a side eye. However, part of me is like, I will be up and I will be willing for it. I will go with an open heart. I am going to talk about crafts soon. If you were thinking, is she ever going to talk about crafts? Yes, I will do. Bear with. And then I've got a 2.5 hour steering group meeting. Yeah. So that's a grey day. That's a grey day in my world. What's your Monday looking like? What's today's day looking like? Today's actually Father's Day, isn't it? Which is, we've celebrated. I've already made the husband a nice bacon sandwich, which is what he wanted for his breakfast. I'm cooking him one of his favourite meals tonight. He's not my father, he's my son's father. But my dad, as we know, is no longer with us in physical form, but he is always with me in spirit. So my lovely dad, who is over there. So I don't find Father's Day as difficult as I used to. Of course, when it first happened, I found Father's Day just awful. My father-in-law's not well, so husband is a bit up and down today, but no, that's the way it happens. But you know, the lad has got his dad a small present, but a lovely card, and is absolutely still asleep. Hasn't got up yet, but yeah, and we're going to make the husband chocolate chip cookies later, or some sort of biscuit, some sort of chocky bicky for him as a gift, because the boy likes baking. I don't like baking with people, but I'll tolerate it on Father's Day, and we'll make them. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. Sorry, I am going to be sipping all the time. So yeah, so this is the calendar. Let me show you June. So I don't think I've shown you June. Look at that. So this is what I was saying about June. That's kind of watery and blue, and yet the air sign is an air sign, is Gemini. So it's interesting that they have gone for something so watery and blue. When we move into Cancer, that would make more sense to me. That would make more sense to me because that is a water sign, but maybe that's it. So June correspondences are Pearl, and I have no idea how to pronounce that, Chalesdony. I don't know what that is. Animal, deer and eagle. Wow, that's beautiful. And an interesting combination. Ground and air. Very different energies. deer and eagle. I'm trying to think. The eagle I think of as protective. If I was to think about an eagle energy and what eagle says to me, of course it is, a sky creature, and it has that kind of ability to see things from a wide perspective, to be able to look at the whole picture and then zoom in, laser-like. But I would also see it as, I naturally feel eagle as protective, a protective creature. And deer, I don't see like that. Deer says to me family. That's what I think, deer. Family and vulnerability, and the being able to be vulnerable in your family. That's what I think with deer. Yeah, what do you think about these things? Anyway, flower, rose, beautiful. Our rose is actually flowering at the moment, so that's understandable. And zodiac sign, Gemini. Just what I am. So yeah, that's what it is. And the ritual is rose water soulmate ritual bath. I'm not getting in a bath with my soulmate. I love the husband to pieces, but I ain't going in a bath with him. Ooh, no. Too small. Would never both get in at the same time. Would not both get out. Oh, I see. This isn't getting in a bath with your soulmate. It's about finding one. Yeah, no, I've already got one. That's fine. You're all right. However, maybe you need it. If possible, perform this ritual on the new moon today. You will need the following: rose essential oil, which is actually quite expensive, rose petals in as many colours as you can get, small white candles with a short burn time. Like that. Anyway, there's your ritual. If you want to pause it, and if you need a ritual to find your soulmate, and you've got some rose essential oil hanging about, there you go. Yeah, so there we go. So Summer King said, "Can you talk to me more about the calendar?" And that's what it is. I do really like it, and I do look at each month. I don't look at the month coming ahead, which I just did. This was May, as I showed. It was the cross flowers, beautiful. Yeah, that says to me May. It's got that bright green in, which says to me spring and new life. April, sweetness of life. That says that's all to do with chocolate. The Aztecs. Now here are animal: falcon or hawk, wolf. Now you see that works together. That to me says yeah. That says Aries. I agree with that. What was May? Beaver and elk. I have no idea about the beaver or elk. Beaver, yeah. No. Elk. I don't know. Interesting. There we go. Lovely. So that's the calendar. So that's the calendar on my wall there, and I do look at it every month. I don't look at it each day to look at the colour. Maybe I should do that. And I hope everybody's grey day tomorrow is not too grey. It doesn't feature as many meetings as mine does. And it's also, my manager's been away for a fortnight and she comes back tomorrow. And I don't know whether she's in the meeting in the morning, but she's in the steering group meeting. And we're not going to have any chance to have spoken to each other. And I'm presenting at the meeting because she's asked me to. Oh well, it'll be fine. I shall think of peace and neutrality and grey. Have I got any grey? I can't wear grey because I've got to wear a uniform. Greying hair. Look at that. It's wonderfully grey. Love it. Anyway. There we go. Lovely smell. Let's get going. I've been talking for how long already? Half an hour. Have not mentioned craft. Right. I'm actually going to show you something that you will have seen from the thumbnail, but I've actually got quite a lot of them to show you because I have been working on them in the last 6-7 months behind the scene, if not more, if not longer. Very much behind the scene, very much picking them up and putting them down as I go along, because it's something that I really quite fancy doing, and that is making crochet blankets and selling them. Just every so often to kind of open up my shop. I do have a shop on Etsy. Open up a shop, my shop and pop some blankets in and let them sell out, and then do that. So not put one in at a time, but actually put them in, you know, make a few and put them in, and make a few and put them in. I'm not going to I considered doing colours for orders, but then I thought no, because it's allowing me, what I've really enjoyed about this, making these blankets, is I've allowed the colours to come and inspire me, and not be inspired, and be inspired about things I'm seeing and go, those are the colours I want to work with, and then put them all together and just enjoying that process. So yes, and I've got into a habit of production making. So when you make a lot of the same thing, and then it's kind of, so instead of join as you go, I actually do a different way. I shall show you all about it. So it started with a humble granny square. So this is a crochet. So this is my crochet thing. I haven't actually got any knitting thing to show you because I haven't done any knitting this week. I find when I'm hot, knitting is not my friend because I end up with squeaky needles. Cannot bear. But crochet I can cope with because it's somehow it's okay. Even crochet blankets. Bizarre, but true. So I start with a humble granny square, and I like this pattern for a granny square. I like granny squares, but this is a lovely pattern for a granny square. It's not a pattern I followed. It's just I saw a picture of it and I found my version of it, which is being blown out a bit. Can I get it so it's not blown out and you can actually see the stitch definition? There we go. Sorry about the angle, but I can't get it to, the light's not brilliant. So there we go. So it has got, it's kind of it's a sunflower granny square. If you were to look on Ravelry or just the internet or YouTube and put sunflower granny square in as a search, you will find many variations on a theme. There isn't one standard way of doing it, but you find your way of doing it, and that's my way of doing it. And it has 12 trebles. These are UK terms. 12 trebles, and then it has, sorry, that was a cat. 12 petals, and then I do 2 rounds. So this is a granny square. So all of them have the sunflower in the centre, and then I change the colour. So that's it. So it started with a humble granny square, and I make, let's just move, I make just lots of them in a go. And so I have made, they're all done in Stylecraft Special DK because that's what I have a lot of. And that's what I had a lot of at the time. And so you may have seen up here, there has been a box sat there, and it had some, if you look back at my previous videos, you'll see that it had these in, and it had well over 100, if not more, in. And I make them just, I make kind of so many at a go, and I allow the colours to be, I just allow playing with the colours, and I do all different colours. So this is a particular lovely set of colours that I like, which was inspired by 1930s, look at that with the lime, kind of 1930s colours, which is what I love, Art Deco colours. So yeah. That's kind of a plain one. So I literally just make lots of these, and then I put them together into a blanket. So let me show you. I mean, literally lots of these. So I find that I make like 20 of the, I make 20 of the centre, and then I do the flower, and then I choose the colours of the edges, and I just sit there in front of the telly of an evening or some other time. I find it very peaceful production method. because it keeps my hands busy, as we know with crochet and knitting. It's that kind of keep your hands busy. So you can see one, there we are, a mid. So I make lots of the centre, and then I make rounds, and then I sit and I choose colours as to what I've got. So I'm mid colour with that one. This is very portable as well, so I can pop this in my bag with its, I need to get a protector for the skizzers, and it's using my favourite 4mm ergonomic hook, which I have bought loads more of. I just keep buying them, so because these are my favourite with Stylecraft Special DK. The hook I use is a 4. So I pop that in my bag and I'm good to go. I'm good to go at any moment. Have at it. So that's what I get. And I have this downstairs. And I create loads of squares. And then when I've got enough squares and I'm in the mood for it, I put a blanket together. So the centre colour is gold, and then I'm using cream, which you can't really see because it's just blowing out, but that's just a cream colour, so that's just cream. So I pop that there. And I've just been going through my colours, and then I put them together. Sew them together with the cream, put a border on, and I end up with a lovely blanket. So this is, as you can see, this is what I was talking about with my kind of inspired by the colours. And these colours, these kind of muted pastels, I found that they're kind of a muted shades, to me says 1920s, 1930s. So if you were to, these kind of colours are what they use in the accessories in that time, and I just love the way they work together. And I showed it to the husband, and he was like, "Oh yeah, those are the colours," because we love that. They are 7 by 6, so there are 42 squares. And then I border them, and actually I do need to block them. These all need to be blocked, so they will lie flatter once I've blocked them. And actually this weather at the moment is perfect for it. Maybe Wednesday I'll do a production line of blocking, but I kind of wanted to show you them. So I sew them to, I whip stitch them, I actually single crochet them together. So crocheting them together forms the lattice, forms the border. And it's a random pattern. I prefer random patterns with these kind of things. That's just my personal taste at the moment. Who knows? The next lot I do might be all perfectly regimentally done. But I just like that. So I'm going to have to get names for them all. But that for me is my lovely... Ooh, can you smell that? It's like the nicest laundry smell you've ever smelled. I said to the husband, I said, "Do you know, that wax melt you bought me is perfect." And he said, "Oh, I must buy you some more." But he's going to, he says. Oh, so nice. So nice. So there's that one. Then, as I say, I've been doing it for months. Look at that. It's just, so this says to me, baby. So it's got pinks. It's got 3 different kind of pinks. It's got a lovely yellow, and it's got a peach. So yeah, she's got 4 pinks. So that's more of a pinky purple. What's that called? I still think that's pink. Maybe 4 pinks then. So I suppose it could be a girl blanket or any colour. Baby. That says to me baby. And that's 6x7, so that's 42. I've only put one colour around that. I've actually left that because I'm enjoying playing with the borders as well. I'm enjoying doing different colours for the borders and not always doing the same. So this one actually ends up in the cream, sorry. But on this one, I just decided to end it with the colour. I wanted to really properly edge it. If you're making a blanket, please put a border on it. A border just finishes it. It looks like it's intentional. It looks like you've finished, you just like, it's that last bit. For my eyes, you do you, of course, but I always think, put a border on it. So this isn't lying flat. This isn't lying flat at the moment, but once I've blocked it, it will lie flat. So yeah, does that not just look gorgeous? So as I say, I am, going to pop these on Etsy and sell them. And I thought I'd wrap them with tissue paper and then put a little something in. Now, quite often with gifts, people like, especially with craft stuff, you get tea. I don't want to do tea. And then I thought about perhaps like a little stitch markery thing, but then I thought I don't want to put a stitch marker in. So I don't know what I'm going to put in. I have to think about that. Maybe a little sachet of something that gives it a smell. Maybe that's what I need to do. Yeah, that might work. Like a little lavender sachet, and then it will smell. That might be nice. What do you think? Do we think? What do we think? What do you think? This one. Oh, I love this. I'm just bordered in white. Look at that. It's blues and yellows. Oh, to me that is sunny and happy. That's like all the colours of a day. It's like the colours of the sun and the colours of the sky leading to night. Is that not gorgeous? I love this blue. I just loved putting this one together. It just makes me feel happy, and I would call this sunny day. Again, this is a 6x7, is it? Yeah, 6x7. Sunny day, that one. Look at that. I've actually got somebody at work so she's got grandchildren, kind of step grandchildren, although they are her grandchildren. But her daughter, who she's super fond with, had a baby 2.5 years ago. And I actually was working in dispensary with her, and so I made her a baby blanket. And it's like her comforter. How lovely is that? And she's having her second. And I've just found out what the sex is. And so, although I knew, I'm pretty good at working out whether somebody's having a girl or a boy. And she said to me, "What do you think it is?" And I said straight away. And she's like, "Yeah, that's what I think it is." And she said, "But that's because I know that's what she wants." But she says, "Is that what you think?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it was. So I'm actually considering just giving her one of those, but then it would be nice to make her something. I don't know. We'll see. I've got till October. But these things come around so quickly when you're making stuff for other people as well. This was a different one, a different colour. Look at that. So I used the oatmeal colour, this kind of colour, and I joined it with that just to see how I feel about it. And it feels more sombre and it feels more kind of neutral, but I love the colours in it. Feels peaceful, that. Feels like tomorrow, neutral and peaceful. So yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? That's a nice colour. Don't know what I'd call that one. I've actually only done one with that. I think it's because I just like the cream, but yeah. You can see I've been thoroughly enjoying myself. And then this was an experiment, which I think has worked. So instead of doing 2 rounds of colour, I did a third. And it makes for a bolder, more colour saturated design because you have less flowers and more of the colour. So if you can see here, you get the colours moving quite quickly, whereas this one, the colours I feel are more dominant. But that's why I chose to just do it in one colour palette, which I just did in blues. So I would call this a sailing day. Before a yacht. Put this in the hold of a yacht. So this is a 5 and a 6. So instead of 6 and 7, 42, this is a 5 and a 6. So it has less squares, but they're kind of stronger. Yeah? Which do you prefer? I just did a normal edging on that one. Could have done a pop of blue with that, but then I thought it had so much blue anyway. Let me show you what it looks like from behind. Doo-doo! See, the back side is still lovely. And from the front. It's amazing what you can do with a simple granny square. So if you have time for a granny square, you have time to make a blanket. And you put them together. You can do join as you go. And I've been watching YouTubes for doing join as you go. But I actually think I like the way I'm doing it. So I have some more. You're thinking, no, let me show you construction. Yeah. So what I do is I lay them out. I have a look at the colours that I've done and I pick the colours I like, and I pick 6 or 7 colours, normally 6. And I don't necessarily have all the same amount for each colour. So there will be some that have more of one colour and more of another. This was going to call rainbow because it's pastels in the rainbows. And I do join them together like that. So that bit there is not joined together. Whoop. Vulgar. So you get long lines and you join them together like that. And you end up with all the dangly bits. Lots of dangly bits. So now I will weave in these ends and then I will join the bits. I will join across here. Does that make sense? And you join it with a single crochet, and you put your hook in both and pull through, crochet, pull through, crochet. Again, honestly, if you look on the internet and you just put joining granny squares together, you will see there's one video which is where I got lots of ideas from, and it was 7 methods of joining granny squares together. And this very nice lady taught me through 7 methods, and I tried various ones, and this is the one I liked the best. I'm actually tempted to have a go at doing another one where you actually you put like a round of cream. You join it together with a yet another round. I think that might be join as you go. Might have a go though. We'll see. But yeah, this is going to be a rainbow one. So I've got to weave in the ends and join across. That could be later today. So that's all clipped together, ready to go. This is what it looks like when you've done it and you've weaved in all your edges. Look at that. Is that not... Oh, again, baby. Baby girl. But less obviously pink, pink, pink. It's got that lovely gold. And it's got shining sunflower. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? I actually did some with that sunflower as the centre. Bear with. There you go. But I think I personally prefer the gold. But I do have these. Why is that there and not? I don't understand why that's not in there. Put you in there. You look fine. So yeah, those are all. They've got the sunflower yellow, the very bright yellow in their centre. I think I'll try it and make a whole blanket of it, but I didn't love it as much. I like the kind of antique gold. I like that kind of warm colour. Stood up there, that's not the most. I'm just wondering why these are sat over there. No reason, they look fine. Don't know why I put those over there. Pop them in there. So yeah, so this is what it looks like before it has its edges. So I did those lines and then I did those lines, weaved in all the ends. I'm actually now, I'm surprised I've got so many ends to weave in on that one because I've started to weave them in as I go along. It's a lot easier, looks better, feels better to go. I like those colours. It's a good job, isn't it, as well, isn't it? Considering I made it. So this needs to have a border put on it. Borders are delightful. Oh, you don't want to do it all day, but oh, there are times you just want a border. And I just do do double crochet, not single crochet, do double crochet all the way round. And what I thought with both this one and the next one, I might put a magic knot ball together of the colours in the blanket and edge so that it, or at least have maybe 2 colours or 3 colours, and so there's a kind of a piping edge. There's kind of an edge within the border, or there's a row within the border of different colours. I thought I'd have a go. You only know if you like it if you try it once. So there we go. I mean, they're a decent size. You're only seeing it kind of one bit of it because I can't show you, but they are a decent size. I don't know what to call that one. I'm going to have difficulty with names, I can tell, because I don't know whether I need to name them individually or whether I just say baby blanket or just say blanket. These are all that blankets or baby blanket size. I did consider doing an adult size, like much bigger. I'd love to know whether you think that's a good idea or not. Would you? Would you be so lovely as to have a think whether you think I should do that? Oh yes, here we are. This one's still being put together. And I've weaved in, I'm weaving in as I go. So this one has just got one bit left. Just got one line left to, look at this. This is another baby. This shrieks baby to me. I've done more baby girl than I have done baby boy, actually, haven't I? Honestly, I think everybody's having girls at the moment. So this has got very lovely pinks and purples and this lovely yellow. And then I wanted a stronger colour, so I picked up this plum. I was like, oh, that's fun. And it just stops it being insipid. Is that a fair word? It just stops it being quite as yeah, just gives it a bit more wow, doesn't it? I think that this is the thing that I'm really enjoying about it. I'm enjoying as I say, I've been doing it for months, just a little bit all the time, a little bit here, a little bit there, just enjoying it. Sometimes I do more in a week, sometimes I don't touch it for a couple of weeks. And what I'm enjoying about it is I can allow my head to not get too in the way about the colours and just do it, you know? And the thing is, this is the other thing, if I'm making them to sell ideally, and will it ever reflect the amount of time? No. But part of it's got my energy and my love in it, so I don't mind that. But what the other thing is, if they don't sell, I know enough people I could give them to. Everybody that's having a child in the next 3 years, you have a baby blanket already made. So it's not the end of the world if they don't go. Yeah. I see a lot of baby blankets that have kind of done in waves or done in lines, and so I just want to do something different. And I love this. There's also, I've seen other people do them, so that one needs to be done. And there we go. That's all I have. So I've got two. So this one just needs an edge. I'm going to sort it out. I'm going to use you as my sorting. That needs one more row and an edge. That needs half its rows done. Waving. So you can really see the construction there. So I've got 3 that I'm working on to finish. And I've got one slightly larger one in the blue. I've got one peaceful neutral one in the kind of 1930s colours. I've got this one, which is a sunny day. 3, baby girl. 4, oh, you see, this would look lovely. Once I've straightened this and everything, this would look lovely on the back of an armchair. And then you can just pull it over you when you need something. So I've got 5 completely finished, and I've got 3 I'm about to finish that I can finish quickly. And then I've probably got enough there to make another blanket. So that's 5 and 3. So that will be, that will be 8. Look at that stack of colours as well. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, so that's what I've been fiddling and faddling about in the background, what I've been doing. I keep them in a bag that we got a blanket in, I think. I keep them in this because then the cats can't get anywhere near them. When they're completed, they go in there. So they will be washed, hung out to dried, cleaned, and then packaged in tissue paper. And then I'm thinking about perhaps the sachet of something. That might be nice, just to add a bit of something. I'd like it to be a lovely present to receive, even if it's a present that you're giving to somebody else. Yeah, we'll see. We'll do that. So I'll have 8, and I'll do another 2, I think, and then put them up for sale. Yeah, and I think the thing is, I'm not going to overthink it. I don't think I've got the brain space at the moment anyway. So that's what I thought I might do. This was not going to be long, and I'm nearly at an hour. Golly gosh, friends. Golly gosh. Where's my day going? I'm going to have some water. Bear with. Oh, that's so refreshing. Delicious. I'll tell you something. I don't know whether you've noticed this about me. It's really interesting. In the last couple of weeks, I've been looking at myself when I've been filming, and I feel like my face has gone a bit puffy, and that's because I'm sure it's because I've started HRT, and I think you can see it in my face. I think the old skin. I've noticed the skin. I've had some skin changes in the last month because I think I was looking a bit drawn. And I definitely think my face has gone, my skin's plumped up a little bit. What do you think? Am I making that up? I'll just say that. Yeah, so I've started HRT because we all know I'm a menopausal woman. Yeah, woman of an age, menopausal woman. I got to the stage. I just got to the stage where I'd had enough. I couldn't cope. I was dealing with lots of stuff and went to the doctors and said, oof. Well, I tried to go to the doctors. It took me a couple of months to get an appointment, which was not impressive. And then eventually went to them. I eventually got a telephone consultation and was just like, I just cannot do this any longer. The biggest thing for me, a lot of skin itching. It's really set my eczema off, and just skin changes, and that was very uncomfortable. Restless legs at night. I have tried everything as well. Don't even think about that. And the sleep, just not being able to sleep, just not being able to stay asleep. I could get to sleep and then would wake up so many times in the night from hot flushes. I just was at the end of my I was at the end of my limit, really. I was so tired all the time. So I've just done a month of it. I've got the estrogen transdermal gel. I wanted the transdermal gel. She said to me, "What do you want?" I said, "I want the estrogen transdermal gel and progesterone tablets," and that's what I've gone for. I'm not taking the progesterone all the time. I'm taking it for certain days in the month, and I've just finished my progesterone. And you know, I really do think, even though there's lots of stuff going on, my sleep when I am sleeping is definitely better. And I think you can also tell by my face. I definitely think. Yeah. So, if nothing else you get from me today, don't suffer in silence. Go and talk to somebody. If you are a woman of an age and you're struggling, I tried to do it holistically, and I just got to the point where I can't do it, and I'm going to try something. So yeah, it's not for everybody. Lots of people can't take it. I understand that. I was concerned because, of course, I have migraines, but and I do have a history of high blood pressure in the family. But I checked my blood pressure for like continuously, and did a whole graph of it, and it's absolutely fine. In fact, my blood pressure was optimal. She says, patting herself on the back. Yeah, and I haven't had an increase in migraines, so yeah, there we go. Just thought I'd share that as well. Last thing I'm going to show you before I go and cool down, because I am getting a bit flushed. Tea Cosies too. So a friend dropped this round. I got a message from her, my beautiful friend. Got a message from her saying, "Would you like this? I've got 2 copies." And I said, "Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have I got tea cozy? I've got tea mugs, haven't I? I've got in this series, which is from GMC Books, Guild of Master Craftsmen Publications, Lush, tea cozies too. I have mug hugs, which I'm a fan of. I do love a mug hug. These, do you know, have I actually made any of these? Sure I have. I've done the basic one. No, I have. I've made quite a few of these. They're nice. I love mug hugs. They're a really nice gift. I've done this one, sideways cable. I've made that one. That was a nice one. Tell you what, if you're interested in learning different techniques in knitting or crochet, well, knitting actually, I think these are all knitting, then I can recommend highly like a mug hug or something like that, because it's a small enough thing that you can try and not get too overwhelmed by, you know? So they're kind of like small projects. Try different stitches. Look at the llama. That's a great one. I've done the heart at the bottom. I've done the heart at the top as well. I've done quite a few of these. So yes, I've got the Mug Hugs book by Alison Howard. Why we love mug hugs. So yeah, so I've done the Mug Hug book. And I have got, oops, just dropped a bug. I have these all over the house. This is smallpox. I have plushy germs. They're smallpox. I don't actually think that's what smallpox looks like, but it is a representation of smallpox. I have Spanish flu. It wears a hat. Did you know Spanish flu wore a hat? It's my other germs. This is a good one. Can you guess? Can you guess what that germ is? Typhoid. Yeah, that's typhoid. It's one on the floor. I've got a germ on the floor. And the reason it's on the floor is because the cats play with it. Cats like this germ. This is the cat's favourite germ. I may have shown you this one before. You probably know which one this is. Can you guess? Black Death. Doesn't look like a germ. It looks like something else. But that's Black Death. Who knew that Black Death has such nice blue eyes? Yeah, it's cat's favourite germ. They do like her. They like a germ too. I'm losing my mind. Crocheted finger puppets. This was a gift from a friend. That's 2 gifts from friends. Yeah, I'm sending her lots of love because she's going through a time of it as well. So yes, this is by Gina Allerton, and it is the same publication. Guild of Master Craftsman Publications. They're $9.99. They've got lots of small projects. She gave this to me because she said I was more likely to make stuff in it, which is true. I am. Has all sorts of things. I haven't made anything in it yet. But that's not to say I won't. So I have that next to my pom-poms, which I'm less likely to make anything from, to be honest. So yeah, so this is, let's put the marker on this back. Oh yeah, I can show you that actually. I'll show you some things in that as well. I've just got completely, I haven't shown you that, have I? So Tea Cosies 2, it's a whole book on Tea Cosies. There's obviously Tea Cosies 1. So this has got slightly more advanced ones, which are just gorgeous. I'm very tempted by the one that's on the cover because that's, of course, a washing line. And how perfect would that be for me? Very. So I'm very tempted to do that one. They would also not take up too much. You're not going to have to go out and buy stuff. I like the Battenberg cake one. So I like Battenberg cake. I like that one because I like the kind of fancy double diamonds, that's called. There's a fondant fancy one. Where's fondant fancy? That doesn't look like a fondant fancy. Number 15. I suppose it does a little bit, but it's not a fondant fancy that I would think of. There's one with bees on it. I could probably have a go at doing that. Oh, look at that one. Yeah, so it's some excellent designs in it. I shall definitely have a go of doing something. I don't actually think I've got a tea cosy. And I used to make them. I used to make quilted ones. So I have got some. I've got quilted tea cosies with eucalyptus on them, and then when it hits the tea, when it goes around the teapot, it just, the smell of eucalyptus comes out. Yeah, I made those. I made those when I was doing my quilting. So yeah, but yeah, isn't that beautiful? So thank you to my lovely chum for giving me that. That was perfect. Put that in there. That was perfect. So thank you, my darling. Here, let me show you this. So I have spoken about this lady before. She does, this is absolutely nothing to do with crochet, or stuff like that, but you might like this if you watch my booktube. I'm going to open that back a little bit. So this is a lady called Laura Crow, who does illustrations. She's an actress as well, and she does illustrations, and she's incredibly creative, and she's done quite a lot of book related things. So on my wall up there, you can see, let's move you back a little bit. Oh, you can't see. Can you see up there? It says Little Grey Cells. That is a Hercule Poirot print. And then this with the book lists, that says that's all Harry Potter books done in a different way. And then up the top up there is horror books, but it's classics. It's all the classics. So it's got Hill House, Frankenstein. I don't know what that one is. The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe. Dracula, Jekyll and Hyde. So yes, it's got those. So she does these prints, and I have bought from her in the past. I've bought from her bookmarks. I've bought wrapping paper. I've bought gift cards. Cards that I've sent. She's just so creative and this kind of stuff. She had an awful experience where so she's a small business. She has her own website and she also goes on Etsy, but she basically has had a closing down sale because two things happened. She lost a lot of stock because there was a fire in the warehouse where she stored her stock. So she lost an awful lot of stock. How horrific is that? I mean, devastating for a small business. Just awful. And then I think she's changing direction. So I don't know whether she's actually got anything on her website at the moment, but her name's Laura Crow, and so you could buy these boxes for so much, and it was a mystery box. So because she had a big closing down sale, and I think she still has got some stuff in it, and I'll put the link to her below. But she had her mystery boxes, and because I have supported her over the years, I thought, I'm going to support her again, and I bought one of these mystery boxes. It was £25, and you were going to get up to the value of like £75. I can't remember exactly, but it was a lot. But of course, you didn't know what you were going to get. So I won't go through all of it. I was so chuffed, but some of it is perfect for me. So I got this lovely kind of pad, and it says to be read list, to review, books to buy. Is that not perfect for me? I should have really shown this on BookTube. Never mind, I forgot. I got these most gorgeous pins. What's today, my fine fellow? Christmas Carol pin. I should give that to the lad. He really likes Christmas Carol. Oh my gosh, this is so perfect for me. It's Jane Eyre. I absolutely love Jane Eyre. It's one of my favourite books. It was one of my mum's favourite books as well. Her styling is beautiful, and then it's on a library card. She's so clever. People are so clever, aren't they? Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven, and the Raven is one of those birds I connect with. So there he is, Edgar Allan. And then another pin. The Tragedy of Hamlet. Oh, so beautiful. So I got these pins. I got some bookmarks, which are brilliant. So that's stylish. A gentleman with it seemed like that, all fine. Oh no. Oh no. Spooky. And then that has to be Ophelia. Is that not Ophelia? I think that's Dorian Gray. That's what I think. It might not be. Whew, I'm warm. Ophelia. I'm thinking Ophelia. I always think of Ophelia when I'm lying in the bath. I got a sticker. Love. I got some prints. I got dinosaurs. Fall into the pages of the books. These are postcards that I can send. I got Amelia Earhart. I got Beware, for I am fearless and therefore powerful. I love that one too. Frailty. Thy name is Man. So yeah. Doctor Who. I've gone really warm. And then I've got some larger prints. I won't show you all of them, but I shall show you my favourite one because I showed the husband and he was like, wow. So I'm going to get this framed. Look! The Poisons of Agatha Christie. How perfect for me in a mystery box. I don't know whether Laura ever knows that I'm obsessed with Agatha Christie and Poisons. How amazing is that? Did I get a Poisons one? No, I got that from somewhere else, but look at that. It's got the Poisons of Agatha Christie. So I'm going to get that framed. I'm going to get that framed and have that downstairs with my Agatha Christie stuff. And I love her drawings and her styling. I was so thrilled. I was so thrilled with this. So yeah, so just wanted to show you that. Should have showed it on BookTube really, because it's more of a BookTube thing, but I'd forgotten. And that's what I'll show you now. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these pins. What am I going to do with these pins? I like the idea of pins, then I get pins and I go, what am I going to do with these pins? Anyway, that'll be handy. So yeah, I'd obviously put that there to show and then completely forgot. That's what's the kind of thing that's been happening. Give myself some grace. Pop that back to forget and then find a while. There we go. There we go, friends. How long has this been going on? This has been going on 1 hour and 15 minutes. And as we know, I don't edit because, well, it takes me too long. I used to edit and then I found I was putting off doing it because of the editing. I actually enjoy editing, but it just takes too much time. There we are, friends. Thank you so much for coming. It's been an absolute delight these last couple of months sitting with you each week and enjoying our yarn chat. I've loved reading all your comments and the feeling. I'm not going to take the videos down. I did actually consider closing my channel for a while, but I don't think I am at the moment. I'm going to keep it up. So the other videos are there, should you wish to go back and watch. And if ever you need to know you are not alone, there are always my videos there. I'm always there with you. And each time you watch it, my energy is there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to blow the candle out. Ooh, that's hot. Put you on a mat so you don't... Hot. Candle's blown out. And I'm going to say thank you. And I'm going to say this has been a lovely yarn chat. And hopefully we'll do it again.